welcome back to another video from HSTV, and in today's video, as you can see by the video title, I'm going to be telling you what I think is the best note-taking Android tablet on the market right now, and I'm going to be talking from experience, so without any more suspense, let me reveal what I'm talking about. Yes, you guessed right. I'm talking about Samsung's Tab S7 Plus, and if you've been following the channel, you'll know that we love this tablet here. And there's many good reasons for it, but why is it that I'm still going on about it in January of 2024? I bought this tablet in 2020 when I started university, and now I'm in my 4th year of medical school and it's still going strong, got no complaints with it, so I really thought we need to do this 3-year plus review and see really why I've decided to stick with this and not move on to the Tab S8 or the Tab S9. So let's get right into it. The first thing for me that really pops out about this tablet is the display, and this Super AMOLED display, you can see for yourself that it's brilliant. It doesn't matter whether you're taking notes, you're multitasking, or you're watching something, or whatever you're doing. I think for a great tablet, you need a great display, because I won't lie to you, a lot of laptops these days, even really expensive ones, their display is just not it for me. And I've got a PC, so I was okay on that end of things, but I wanted something with a really good display, and that's what this tablet really showed to me. And even now in 2024, it's giving a competitive display. The Tab S9 Plus, even that is having an AMOLED display, which this tablet already showed to us way back in 2020. So I think that for its price and for the quality of display that you're getting even now, makes this really worthwhile, especially for students. Something else really important for me as someone who wants to do a lot of note-taking and a lot of work-based productivity tasks on the tablet is the storage and the battery life. And I can really proudly say that after this many years, it's all holding up brilliantly. In terms of the storage, so my tablet that I bought, it had 128 gigs and I've only used 50 point something, so I've still got plenty. And even if I did start running out and I wanted to expand, remember that I've got an SD card slot, which a lot of tablets don't nowadays, especially the big competitor like the iPad. And I think, I just don't know why. I think that especially if you're targeting this tablet to students or to work people, you want it to have expandable storage rather than having to buy a new tablet after a year. So I think the storage has held up really well, but if I did want to expand it, that option's already there. Now the battery life as well, honestly haven't noticed a big drop at all. In fact, on 100%, I think that I can do 3 1-hour video calls as well as any other note-taking throughout the day, and maybe watch a few episodes on Netflix in the evening. I think it holds up very well. I really don't have to charge it that often, and even when it's down to 15%, I've still got at least, I've got to say at least 3 to 4 hours on 15%. I know that it will hold up. So I think it's actually doing really well, especially, since I use it every day since September of 2020. Now the other thing that I love about the tablet is the S Pen. Honestly, it's so simple. It's basic, right? It does the job perfectly. We've got one button on here, which is great. It helps you with multitasking and productivity. And you know what? It comes in the box, okay? And the big competitors out there, Apple with their Apple Pencil, you have to buy it, and it's a big amount of money, right? And the other thing that I get questioned on quite a bit is if I've ever had to change the nib on the S Pen. And the answer still in 2024 is no. And I don't know if that's just me being lazy or what, but I've just not noticed a difference in the way I use the S Pen on the tablet. And honestly, I use it a lot, because how can you do note-taking without the S Pen, right? But honestly, I've not noticed any friction or lag or drag or any kind of wear and tear. Honestly, I think it still works perfectly fine, and I don't see the need to change the nib. Now, maybe if I did change it, I would notice a difference, but you don't have to, is what I'm trying to get across to you. So yeah, I'm really happy with how that's turned out, and honestly the S Pen is a joy to use on the tab. It's got that 120Hz refresh rate, it's really smooth, and you know, I know that tablets nowadays, they're having lower latencies and you know, better refresh rates and everything like that, but to the human eye, you can't see it or feel it that much at all. And is it really worth, you know, the £1,500 that they're charging nowadays for that? The fact that in 2020 this tablet was able to achieve a very similar results is mind-blowing to me. So I think this is why it's still holding up pretty well against its competitors, its new generation, even in 2024. Okay, so my specific tablet has 6 GB of RAM, and if we're talking about really powerful tasks, for me, the most power that I'll use for the tablet for is like multitasking and productivity type things where I've got multiple screens open. And honestly, I've not noticed a lot of lag or a lot of glitching or it slowing down, to be honest, at all. Now, saying that, I know that nowadays, you know, my phone has more RAM. The S9 Ultra tablet, I think, can now have something like 16 GB of RAM, which is crazy because my gaming PC has 16 GB of RAM. So I feel like they're really overdoing it with the whole RAM thing. And my real question is to these companies and to Samsung and, you know, to all of you guys who are obsessed with high amounts of RAM, do you really need it? Because I know that they market these tablets as like work hard, play hard, and the truth is, if you're buying a tablet, you're probably not buying it for gaming, and you're probably like not buying it for like heavy video editing, stuff like that. Although maybe one day these tablets will become, you know, the norm and you can use it for these sort of things. But honestly, if you want a game, you're going to buy a Switch or a PlayStation or a gaming PC, right? And if you want a video edit, you need like a desktop PC. So yes, more RAM does equal more power, and you probably could have very good gaming capabilities, you know, with the S9 Ultra. But for my usage in particular, I've not felt that I needed more RAM. You know, I've only looked at how much RAM I had today when I had to film this video. So it's really not something that's, you know, should be make or break for students, at least, I think, you know, for your standard note taking, your multitasking, you know, watching stuff on Netflix. Like, it does all of that very well, and really had no complaints with that. So yeah, it just depends what the usage of the tablet is going to be for you. But honestly, from a note-taking perspective, I think 6 GB of RAM on a tablet, this brilliant, you know, even in 2024, is still holding up brilliantly. Now, I know that in the past there's been some issues around Android note-taking app compatibility, but the thing is that this is not something that's necessarily this tablet's fault, right? So we can't fault the tablet on that. This is more about, you know, asking these companies to collaborate with Samsung to create really good apps. And for me, you know, I've been using Samsung Notes, I've been using Notion recently now, and both of them are fine. They work really well. With Samsung Notes, it is a little bit disappointing that it's no longer compatible on Windows PC, so that has disrupted my ecosystem of devices a little bit, but I have recently started using Notion more for my clinical medicine notes because it is cross-platform and it works well on the tablet. I will admit that I do like using Notion more on the desktop more than the tablet, but I think that's more of a personal thing because I think I'm still getting used to Notion a bit and it's a little bit fiddly, so I prefer having, you know the mouse and things on desktop. Saying that, you could easily just connect a Bluetooth, you know, mouse with the tablet. Now, I think the tablet also does well with other apps as well, things like Flexel and NoteShelf. I think that these are great PDF reader apps. One of the big uses I have with the tablet is textbook reading and, you know, reading other PDFs and things and marking things up and lecture slides. All that sort of thing I don't think I can really do on my phone or on my desktop that well. So this is where the tablet really comes into play for me. Since we're on the topic of looking at the ecosystem of devices in general, I know that Samsung, you know, they go on a lot about Samsung DeX. I don't know, maybe I'm just missing out or what it is, but I've just not really used Samsung DeX at all, honestly. I've not even used the feature where you can connect your tablet to a monitor and then have two displays, but there is a lot of potential there if you want to go down that route. I just haven't personally done that because I didn't feel a usage for it. I think it's nice to have the keyboard book cover. It does give more of a laptop type feel. I think, it's great. I can do all my video calls on there. I don't need a laptop along with the tablet, but that's because I've got a PC. So I don't know if perhaps, if you're looking for an all-in-one device, one device only, then a laptop should be your go-to. But I do think that this tablet does add a lot to my ecosystem of productivity. Alright guys, well that is going to be the end of this video, and I hope you've enjoyed seeing the Tab S7 Plus back on the channel. We're still talking about it in 2024 and I have no plans of upgrading yet. I am excited to see what the Tab S10 will have in store for us, but honestly I don't see a reason to upgrade at the moment, immediately anyway. The overall performance of the Tab S7 Plus has been brilliant. No complaints whatsoever. I still use it every day, and I just think it's been one of those great investments into my university ecosystem of devices. I do a lot of stuff on it still, even when I'm out and about. It's just really easy to carry about, not too heavy. Obviously the Tab S9 Ultra, it looks very attractive. It's very nice and big. It's probably a bit slimmer as well, but honestly, this is just better, I think, because the Ultra is just too big. This is closer to an A4 page, and I just think that aspect ratio works well for carrying it around as well. So overall, the Tab S7 Plus is a great tool for note-taking, especially for the students out there, and I'm going to continue to use it. I'm going to keep you guys updated, and let's see when I next upgrade. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Goodbye.